How's it going, guys? Welcome to the first official season of the Seattle Kraken franchise mode. So before we get started here with the re-sign phase, I'm actually going to go and turn Fog of War on. I was looking through the comments and it seemed like the majority of you wanted it on. Some of you wanted it off, so I think I'm going to do what I originally planned, and that is have the potential hidden, but keep the rating shown, as I feel like we kind of already know how good everyone in the NHL is. And then even prospects, if you look at their stats, obviously, a guy who put up 70 points is probably better than a guy who put up 20 points, but the guy who put up 20 points might have more potential, and of course, that's kind of where, the whole scouting comes into play. Players taking longer to grow if they're more of a project. Maybe they're like 50 overall, mediumly potential, opposed to 65 with top 6. So, that's kind of the plan. So where is Fog of War here? Right here. So you can actually turn it on after you start, which I think is really cool. So we're going to do that. So individual attributes I'm also going to keep off, as I feel like there's really no way to know exactly how good somebody's stick check is or how good their balance is, face-offs, whatever. Overall, though, we'll have on. Same with player roles. I feel like that's pretty obvious based on their rating. I'm also keeping player type on, as I feel like I know what the player type is better than EA sometimes. Like, they still have Austin Matthews as a playmaker, but I feel like he's definitely a sniper, so I switched that. Potential, though, is off, and that's it. So you can see 3 of the 5 things are on, the other 2 are off. The main thing, of course, being potential, is turned off. So hopefully everyone's cool with that. And I think that'll be good here for the next 10 years. And one more thing I want to show you guys, all the traded players I've added to franchise mode. If you watched my Montreal Cup or Bust, you definitely would have already seen them. But in case you missed it, here's a look. Basically, it's just all American and KHL players who aren't in the game. Basically, it's like important prospects that will actually have an impact on like the game and the sim. So nothing less than like a top 6 forward, top 4 D-man, or a starting goalie in terms of potential. So you have Adam Fox there to start us off. Brady Tkachuk, Bode Wild, Cole Caulfield will be in the 2019 draft. Kale McCarr, Ilya Samsonov, Igor Shishorkin, Ilya Sorokin, Joel Farabee, Jack Hughes, also in the 2019 draft, Josh Norris there, Jake Ottinger, Kirill Kaprizov, Oliver Wahlstrom, Quentin Byfield, he's actually in the 2020 draft, should go number 2 behind Lafreniere, Quentin Hughes, and finally Vitaly Krasov. Again, I just felt like these were all important prospects that kind of need to be in the game just to keep it more realistic. And we're not the re-sign phase here, guys. Obviously going to try and keep everybody and then trade away the guys we don't want to bring in younger assets, as well as definitely trade some defensemen for forwards. I'm noticing there is one mistake here. Strowman should not be a UFA. He's still locked up until the end of 2019. Not sure why it's showing him as UFA. It said he had years left when we drafted him, so that's kind of annoying. I would have taken Yanni Gourde probably if I knew this, as we can keep him, but it's going to cost us money. So, I mean, I'm down. We have the cap space. Try again for like 5.5 for 1 year. Of course, we'll then flip him at the deadline or something. Just kind of annoying. Milroy, the guy we got like 4th overall, 81 overall, obviously making our team. We have barely any good forwards. Actually, I'd like to do this position by position, so let's do that. Centers there, we do not have a lot. McNeil, 25-73. We don't have very many centers, but honestly, that's pretty bad. He's got like 1 year left to grow. He's only a 73. Left wingers, Byron's not bad. Yaskin obviously can grow still. Probably just give all these guys what they want. Martinuk there. I mean, worst case scenario, they're in the AHL, but we have like so much cap space, and I don't think there's gonna be that many good free agents in this summer, as there's already like everyone kind of locked up from real life. So it's definitely like kind of a situation where we're starting from the bottom here, but that's okay. I think the more difficult franchise mode is, the more fun it is. Byron here, I definitely like to get on a 1 year deal max. Looks like it doesn't cost too much more. So yeah, we'll do 1 year there. He does want an extension, so hopefully I'll take that. Fast is locked up. Milroy Eves is locked. Brett Ritchie is still pretty young. Actually, 1 year. Let's see how much he grows. Honestly, he's a guy that like I feel might not grow. I don't think he grew much in 18. Aberg here should be pretty cheap. Looks like they're all asking for, okay, finally somebody under $1 million. Kunackle, again, like we're an expansion team. There's no reason not to sign these guys. At that point, you're just losing an asset for free. Kunackle looks to be the one that doesn't want to get extended, so we might have to give him a little bit extra, but that's okay. Dano, I mean, I guess even the 63s we could be signing, as our AHL team's going to have nobody, right? So they'll actually get a lot of ice time. A defense here, everyone's locked up with Strawman, at least like for the 80 pluses. Even though, honestly, I plan on trading a lot of them, I'd rather kind of like a guy like Bull U, keep him around, have him grow, play bottom pair. Gonna see he'll take 1 year there, 2.75. Juice for sure, too. He's 23. He needs to play. We'll see. 1.4 for 2 years. That's actually really good. Lexiak even. Osterley's 26.78. Doesn't want an extension. Ooh. He's probably the first guy where it's like I don't even want to keep him. Chicago literally had nobody though, so it's not a huge deal. Also, we lost McNeil, right? Did not realize all these goalies need to be signed. So Sparks for sure would love to be our AHL starter. So cheap. Oh my gosh. 78 overall, medium star potential. Forsberg. Oh, that's who we took from Chicago. I think Osterley's on Arizona now. I forgot that. So Hutchinson, I'd like to keep. Kincad's the only one that doesn't want to stay with us. Korpisalo we have to keep. He's like a good young goalie. I'll give him a little bit extra there just because we need him. Like Grubauer and him's kind of the tandem. We could have Hutchinson be like our AHL starter. Probably flip him. We're going to have a lot of goalies under contract, but again, plan is to trade most of them. Forsberg, even. He goes 1.1 for 2 years. I think that's really good. And then Kincad here. Like I don't think anyone's wanted more than 1 million. Even if we have to pay him a bit extra, I guess worst case we lose him, but I don't think New Jersey really had anyone. So we'll see who says yes here. Hopefully able to keep everybody by the time free agency rolls around. Let's see what happens. So Dano accepted our offer. Same with Beaulieu, Martinuk, Korpisalo, Richie, Aberg. I'm assuming everybody, but probably, yeah, Kincad and Strawman. So, and also Kunackle, the guys that didn't want to resign. So we'll try and pay those guys more. Looks like, yeah, literally everyone else said yes. Hutchinson, I think he wanted to, so we'll just try and give him a bit more. There we go. So the guys that don't want to resign, we'll try and pay them a little bit extra as we do have the money. And then if it just gets to a point where it's ridiculous, obviously we have to let them go. All right, guys, so I offered Kincad an extra $200K. I think $2 million for 2 years. He said yes, or $2 million per year for 2 years. Kunackle as well, gave him an extra $200K. Strawman, I think I bumped like by $250. And then Hutchinson actually just gave what he wanted. So I don't even think we spent an extra $1 million there, and everyone's locked up. So that's awesome. Go to free agency now again. Probably not a lot of guys available, but that's okay. We have lots of cap space and obviously a lot of assets to trade. Plan is to tank the first year anyways, so hopefully, yeah, we can make that happen. All right, guys, so I'm going to check free agency first and then probably make trades after that. Erik Karlsson is available. What the heck? I don't know what's going on here because we're in the summer of 2018. How is Erik Karlsson available? I mean, we have so much money. Obviously, we're going to try and sign him. I don't understand this. Silverberg, Gardner. Are we in 2018? It is, yeah. It's July 1st, 2018. Maybe they, like, take a year off of everyone's contract, though. So, like, we're pretending it's a pseudo 2019, and that's why Strawman was available, and then we didn't really do that in one draft. I'm honestly so confused by the timeline here. Because, yeah, you have Gardner also available, Myers, Chara, Burakovsky's an RFA, Gord. This is very interesting. Maroon, yeah, these are all guys that are up in 2019. So, I mean, we have 18 million. I feel like we go after Erik Karlsson. I don't know, like, you pay Karlsson whatever it costs, right? Who cares? Like, $9.5 million for 7 years. And even if we're bad, hopefully we're not bad for too long. Like, we'll be bad for a couple years. He'll make the rest of the team better, though. They'll put up points and stuff. Be a fun team, and then that's when we'll get really good, maybe year 3 or so. Gardner's available, too. We already have way too many defensemen, so I'm not going to go after him. Myers, Chara. Broussard, we actually do need a center. The thing is, I'm trying to be bad. He's 30. So by the time we're trying to compete, I don't know. Gord, 26 would be nice. Burakovsky, 23 would be even nicer. Both RFAs, though. How much would we have to give up here? 4.3, a first and a third. Definitely not. Our first is going to be first overall. So those are 2 trade targets if their teams can't get them signed. But definitely will not be giving them a contract offer. Cuckoo, it's still not worth it. He's 24. Medium top 4. Like, I'm curious what it would cost. If it's a third, then maybe we do it. It's a second. I forget like what the third is. If it's like 2.5. Nah, yeah, see, I don't think that's worth a second, especially with all our defensive depth. 21.56 fringe starter potential, and it's accurate. That's not bad for a 21-year-old. I think we can afford to sign him. Aw, Sandstrom, he's always in the other game. We might have too many goalie contracts, but might as well give it a shot. Also going to check potentials here for all the other skaters. Oh, I was actually already there. Chizen, 2060. There's a chance he's high elite. If it costs 650K, might as well go for it. Heinen, yeah, all these guys are pretty good RFAs. Audette, he's actually not too bad, and obviously we have like 20 contracts. He was in our Montreal franchise. I think he was like first line AHL by the 3rd year, so in this, he could actually eventually make the NHL team. This guy here too, I think he's got tops. Oh no, this is somebody else. Whatever. Confirmed medium top 6 as a 20-year-old. Like, that's not too bad, especially when you're picking them up for free. 22, 72. Let's pick up these young guys. Like, cost us nothing. We have tons of roster spots. No reason not to give him a chance. Somehow missed Nurmi at the top here too. Believe we signed him in the Montreal one, so we'll give him 725. Barber, I'm going to sign him just for like the AHL team. Same goes for Howard Luck. Like, our AHL team is going to be really, really bad. So if we do have like some decent prospects, we need like okay players around them so they don't do absolutely terrible and not grow. I think I might give an offer to Derek Brassard as well. Like I said, we don't have a center, so he's playing first line center. Like, he's going to be getting good minutes or whatever. 6 million for an 84. It's not too expensive. But we'd still have, after him and Carlson, 3 million in cap space. And obviously I plan on trading a bunch of contracts, so we'll actually end up with a lot more. Other than that, I probably don't go after any of these players really, especially since we're going to be trading for forwards. So we'll see who says yes and then start some trades. As you can see here, Audette accepted our offer, which I like. He turned into a decent player in Montreal. Chizen here. Sancho rejected. Full roster, so yeah, I figured that. I think we have too many goalies. We'll go back and try it again after we trade a goalie. Hopefully he's still there. Another prospect accepted, Nurmi. Still haven't heard from Carlson or Brassard, but I think that's all the prospects. Brassard accepts. Okay, so we do have our first line center. Englund, another prospect. Barber. Howard Carlson's holding out. I mean, offered him more than anybody. Eric Carlson's on the expansion team. I mean, there was word he might go to Vegas, so I guess it's not that unrealistic. Also, he's linked back up with Derek Brassard. Okay, so like I was saying, for whatever reason, it seems like you essentially start in 2019, although it says 2018. Because, like, you do... Well, except the draft we did wasn't 2019. So it's like 2018.5 draft, but the 2019 summer. Because I went and checked, and, like, Panarin's got a new contract with Columbus. Same with Bobrovsky. Matthews, Marner, Nylander all have new contracts with Toronto, so kind of strange, but we'll just work with it, I guess. So before I start trading, guys, I wanted to show you all the different trade values for this team. Obviously, Fog War is on, which affects it. Like, we know Milroy here is medium elite. We know Brassard's top 6. These two, though, it's like a very inaccurate chance that they're medium elite. So the value there isn't too high. Like, if they are medium elite, obviously it's going to be way higher. If they're not, that kind of makes sense. You can see their forwards really not a lot of value. Defense, though, is insane. Like, Ekholm's our 7th defenseman at 83. I mean, that's our top 4. Like, we're definitely trading at least 3 of these guys. We don't need 2 83s making, like, almost 10 million on the bottom pair. Goalies, too, like I said, Grubauer, Korpisalo, I want to be the tandem. So, Kincaid, Hutchinson for sure. Maybe Forsberg getting traded. Sparks, I want to be the starter in the AHL. And then obviously we have all of our draft picks as a new team. So we'd love to get draft picks too, because this is an expansion team. I'm not trying to do the Vegas thing and make the Cup final the first year. I'd like to rebuild the first few years and then maybe just go on an absolute tear. I'm not sure what the record is for like most consecutive Stanley Cups, but I'd love to break it. All right, guys, we're trying to make our first trade right now, and it's a big one. Trading the former best player on this team, Mark Giordano, to the Nashville Predators for Kevin Fiala and a first-round pick. The reason behind this trade, basically, Giordano's 34 years old right now, 86 overall. Usually, though, he'll regress pretty quick as he is older, and I think we're going to start competing at earliest in the 3rd year. By then, he's 36. We would probably have a chance at the Cup year 4. He's 37. I doubt he's still this good. Might as well get a return on our investment right now, especially with all the defensive depth we have. Fiala is a good young winger. First-round pick. Can never have too many of those. The value is about equal here. I think it's even on our side a little bit, which obviously is going to help as they don't have Fiala on the block. So we'll see what Nashville says here. Trade's accepted. Okay, awesome. That's an amazing first trade. Let's see if we can keep it up. Next year, guys, going to trade Kincaid to Winnipeg. I know they need a backup goalie. Right now, it's Brossois. Trying to get Kopp here. He's actually a pretty decent prospect. 23 years old, 79 overall. Potential there is medium top 9. Taking back Kulikov, though, as they actually don't have the cap space to take Kincaid. So I'm doing them a big favor, too, as they still need to sign Roslovic. He's worth too much value, though, to get him for Kincaid. We'll see what they say yes to this. The value is about even. Hopefully it goes through. And there we go. I figured it would. Like, the game should know we're doing them a pretty big favor there, taking Kulikov off their hands. Next year, guys, having another big trade. This one's with the Toronto Maple Leafs. For Timashov, obviously a solid prospect. 21 years old, 7 overall, low top 6. Also trying to get Sandin here. 58 overall, medium top 4. And then Connor Brown's more or less there for the salary, but he's actually a pretty good player in his own right. 24 years old, 80 overall. Offering them Strawman. Obviously, Toronto's always looking for a defenseman franchise. 84 overall would be a nice addition for them. And then Forsberg here would actually be an upgrade at goalie, I think. I think he's like one above Picard. 79 overall. We have a surplus of goalies. Plus he's 25, so going to be done growing in a couple years. Value looks to be about even. Timashov, Standard both on the block. Also, as you can see, they're actually retaining 50% of Strawman's salary, but only for 1 year, so not a big deal. We'll see what Toronto says here. Trade accepted. There we go, another one. So they must be making good offers. They're all close, but they're going through. And next trade here, guys, is with Boston trying to trade Braun for Heinen. As you can see here, he's on the block. Currently an RFA that they have unsigned, so this is definitely where we can kind of take advantage of teams who can't afford their young players. We'll give them guys that they can't afford because we're getting them on deals. As you can see, Braun there, 50% retained, 1 year left, so it doesn't really hurt us at all. Also, I noticed he's actually got top 6D potential. If you look at the rest of our 80-plus defensemen, they're all top 4. So he's probably going to start regressing the quickest. Plus, he is the oldest, so I guess that makes sense. If we can get him for Heinen, I mean, the value is pretty equal. Plus, with 50%, I feel like that makes his value even higher. So we'll see what they say. And it's going through, so that's awesome. I think that's 2 players already we retained 50% on, so we can only do it on 1 more. Probably going to save that for the deadline. See if we can make a few more trades here before the start of the season, but honestly, the team's starting to really come around. Next here, guys, just a small trade, offering Hutchinson to Buffalo for a couple 4th rounders. Again, kind of don't need him. Sparks is our AHL starter. Grubauer and Korpisalo are the 2 NHL goalies. 3rd round pick looked to be a bit too much. They want Hutchinson, though. See what they say. Trade accepted. There we go. So, I mean, a couple mid-4th rounders hopefully can find some gems there. Trying to make another small trade here. This one's with Montreal, offering them Byron, so he's actually returning to his old team, along with Kunackle for a couple 4th round picks. Obviously, just got a bunch of forwards from the previous trades, so don't really need these 2 guys anymore. Byron would be in the NHL, but he's 29, so I'd rather just have guys with potential playing. Kunackle would probably be in the AHL, so we can just get a couple draft picks out of it. I don't see why not. We'll see what Montreal says. Rejected. Honestly, I'll take... I feel like 1/4's way too cheap. Give us like a 4th and a 5th. If not, maybe we just do the 1/4. Alright, there we go. 4th and a 5th. That's solid. And one last trade I'm trying to make here, guys. Nathan Beaulieu for a 3rd round pick. We just have so much defensive depth still. He would be like our 7th or 8th defenseman. Basically, it was between him and Alexiak. Alexiak's huge. I feel like he's probably a better bottom pair guy. So if we can get a 3rd round pick, another draft pick, help us build for the future, why not? Ottawa wants him. 3rd round pick's on the block. Trade goes through. So there we go. Honestly, the team still is really good. Like right there, 2 firsts, a 2nd, 2 3rds, 4 4ths, a couple 5ths, a 6th and a 7th. Like we have a lot of picks in this draft. The goalie situation is exactly how I wanted it. All we actually need right now is an AHL backup. Defense, we still have a very, very good top 4. Carlson, Spurgeon, Martinez, Ekholm, and then Alexiak with Juice. Kulikov just going to be in the AHL because I don't really care. He's going to be gone after this year. And then forwards, I mean, obviously brought in a bunch of guys. Brassard, Fiala, Heinen. He'll need a contract. Same with Kopp. But, yeah, the plan is to tank. This team honestly might not be that bad. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they do this season. So right now, guys, we're going to try and sign Heinen and Kopp. Shouldn't cost too much. 1 year, 3.7. I mean, obviously, if we could wait till the end of the year and get them even cheaper. It's risky, though, in case the team makes an offer. But not very many teams have cap space because they all had to, like, re-sign players because it's, like, we basically like got rid of 1 year of contracts across the league. Kopp shouldn't be too bad though. 79, 2 years, 1.5. Yeah, that's not. Yeah, it's pretty good. 1.35 for 2 years. You should say yes. Also, guys, right now I'm gonna sign Vlader here. 20 years old, 67 overall, high backup potential. He'll be backing up Sparks in the AHL. Also Sandstrom, 2056, medium fringe. We now have the goalie contracts to actually be able to sign him, so might as well. And as you can see here, Vlader accepted. Same with Sandstrom. Still waiting to hear back from both Kopp and Heinen. Kopp rejected. Okay, I'll give him a little bit more money. Heinen accepted, though. So Kopp will just add like 200K onto or whatever. So at the end of the summer here, guys, as you can see, it's August 23rd. Trying to make a trade for Burakovsky. Still in the trading block. Still without a contract. So the thing is, Washington has like no cap space, 700K. Can't really trade them any of the players we have. So I'm just offering them 2 draft picks here, both 2nds. 2021, 2022. Obviously, I feel like this year, next year, we're not going to be a very good team, so our 2nd round picks are going to be really high, almost 1st round picks. So hopefully by the time Washington uses these picks, or at least like a mediocre team, and they're mid-rounders, obviously going to give Burakovsky an offer after this. He's a really good player too, like 23 years old, 82 overall, top 6 potential, like definitely goes right into our top 6. I think Washington says yes, because they literally can't sign Burakovsky. Here we go. And there we go. So that's pretty awesome. I think the one other player that's still on RFA not signed is Yanni Gourde, but unlike Burakovsky, he was actually at least making $1 million last year. Burakovsky was only making like 800K, so Gourde probably ends up just accepting a qualifying offer by the end of November if no other team makes an offer. And as you can see here, Burakovsky's asking for just over $3 million for a year. I'll give him like 2.85. I'll probably say yes. So right now, guys, signing the captaincies. I thought this would be kind of funny. The two alternates here are Brassard and Pajot, and then of course the captain is Erik Karlsson. So 3 former Ottawa Senators. I thought, why not make them all the captains of this team? Also, too, I wanted to make sure one of the captains was somebody we actually got from the expansion draft. So that's another reason why I made Pajot one of the alternates, but I don't know, I just kind of thought that was funny. Also, guys, I just checked free agency again. I noticed that Dawson's still available. 24 years old, 78 overall, low top 6. So I think if we go down to a certain number, we could actually get him for free, in which case he's just a really good AHL defenseman. Maybe he even grows. Let's see. So that'll work. No picks required. Might as well try that. We get Dawson for free. Why not? And as you can see here, Dawson accepted our offer. This is actually the second one I gave him. The original he rejected, so then I offered him $950K for 1 year, and he said yes. I feel like Tampa will most likely match this. I don't know, unless they don't have $950K or they're waiting to use it on Gord. Let's see, has been resolved. They chose not to match. Okay, so got Jake Totchin for free. We'll take it. And now finally, guys, we're at the start of the season here. I can show you what the lines are looking like. Honestly, even though it says rebuild our team status, I don't think our team is that bad. Although obviously I want us to do bad to get a higher pick. You guys can be the judge. So first line here, Kevin Fiala, Derek Brassard, Andre Burakovsky. Like, that'd be a really good second line. And that's like about as good as Montreal's first line was when we did the Cup or Bust. So I mean, again, I don't think this team's that bad. We have Milroy there, of course. He was like our first round pick, 4th overall. Would love to see him grow. You can see that you actually can't see his stats individual, but you can see everyone else's because I guess we already know. Heinen there and Fast is who he's playing with, so should be able to produce pretty well. I could even put him on the first line instead of Burakovsky, but his role's a third liner, so I think second line should be more than fine. Third line, Connor Brown, Pajot, and Eves, and then fourth here is Brett Ritchie, Andrew Kopp, and Yaskin. So, I mean, it's not too bad depth either. Defense here, Ekholm and Karlsson's the top pair. I feel like Karlsson hopefully will help out the forwards, help them grow. A little bit of Swedish connection there as well. Spurgeon and Martinez is the second pair, and then Alexiak and Juice is the bottom pair. Goalies, like I've been saying, Grubauer, Korpisalo, I feel like that's a solid young tandem. AHL team also isn't too bad either. So we got Martinuk there with Gauntz and Aberg. I actually turned Gauntz into a center. We didn't really have a good AHL center. He's got 73 faceoffs. Plus, I think used to be a center, so not too bad. Dano with Howrluck and Lear on the second line. Pumpel, Audette, and Barber on the third. And then Oskinen, Kostitsin, and Timoshov's on the fourth. Defense here, Kulikov and Dawson's the top pair. So they actually have a decent AHL top pair. Chizen and Englund on the second. And then Sandin and Niemelainen on the third. Hopefully Sandin can grow here. Medium top four. Really happy with that Toronto trade, honestly. Same with like the Nashville trade. I feel like we got a lot of value back. So again, more worried about growth this year than I am about doing well. I want to get a high pick. Hopefully we can get Jack Hughes, Krebs, Byram, one of the top players. Obviously going to be scouting throughout the season. I feel like no really reason to show you guys that. It's basically just hiring scouts. I usually just hire kind of a group of scouts at the beginning, which I guess I'll show you, and keep them the whole season and hope they do well. Like I was saying, guys, I want to give you a quick look at my scouts. Make sure you get 3 junior scouts that are really good in the CHL. So Doughty here, overall A-, A+ in the WHL. This guy, overall B's and A in the Q. And then this guy here's an A+ in the OHL. Just have them scouting basically the entire league for the whole season. Then we got these two guys, both in the US. I think they like scout those players for a certain amount of time. I know there's less players too, so that probably works out better. Where like the OHL, QMJHL, WHL is just huge, and I already know the best players. So I feel like it works out better the other way. SHL, Liga, Russia, and then for Pro Scouts, I have 1 in each division in the NHL, as well as 1 in each division in the AHL. So 8 total there. And I think that's good. As you can see, like I have 100K, so I don't think that's even enough to hire a scout. Hopefully that works out. Basically just kind of leave them as they are for the whole season. We're just about to finish the preseason here, and we're going to start simming again. We're considered a rebuilder. I feel like this team is going to do better than I want it to, but we'll see. And taking a quick look at the draft class here, obviously Jack Hughes at the top. Looks like there might be some created players that are good though. Sala, I've never seen before. Sokolov, Alexiev. Obviously it is like the first prospect ranking, so it could change, but usually there aren't that many dudes that high. Alright guys, check this out. I just simmed in the middle of November. We are 14-2-2. There's something where it's like, if you're in the playoffs by American Thanksgiving, you have like a 90% chance to make the playoffs. American Thanksgiving is the 22nd, so we'll see what happens. Also, you might see there we beat Detroit 6-1. I don't think I've ever seen this before. The Red Wings are 0-14-4. I hope that's not what's actually going to happen in real life. Obviously, I'd love to get Jack Hughes, but I don't want to like be middle of November and still not have a win. That's a little bit embarrassing. I mean, I've never honestly seen that with an NHL team. Sometimes you have like an AHL team all in the 50s. They'll do that, but I've never seen that with an NHL team. We got another win there against Boston. So this team is looking very, very good. Again, they're listed as a rebuilder. I thought there's a good amount of depth there. We might surprise some people. And right now looks to be the case. I'm guessing we're probably first in the division, honestly. Like, I don't know how we couldn't be. Yeah, we are. So, kind of crazy. And Heinen there has over a point per game. Unreal. I just got a pretty good offer from Calgary. I want to give me a first-round pick with Frolik for Spurgeon in a third. That's 2020 first-round pick, though. And I feel like Frolik's contract's not that great. Honestly, I think we can get better for Spurgeon. And considering the fact we're doing good right now, really don't see a reason to mess with the team. Just got another decent offer. This one's from Ottawa. Want to give me 2 second-round picks for Ekholm, but again, we're rolling right now. 21-4-4. I see no reason to mess with this. Like, I thought we'd be a good team, as in, like, fighting for a playoff spot, not dominating like we are right now. Like, we're doing better than Nashville, who we traded Giordano to, so this is pretty nuts. About 2 months away from the deadline. As you can see, it's just about 2019. Probably take one more break here before the deadline just to see where we are at the start of the new year. Record there is pretty good. Anaheim's 500. AHL team could definitely be better. We'll send this last game against Anaheim. And it's a 4-1 win. It's not too bad. 24-9-4. Let's see if we still are first in the division. And we are. Wow, 52 points. We're actually tied with LA. Wow. Fast is on the second line, 40 points. So that second line of Fast, Heinen, and our 4th-round pick, whose name I definitely need to remember, because I feel like we're going to be seeing him a lot more, Milroy. They're all still 81s. I believe they all were 81s before, and I guess they're just going off. Yeah, he's got a decent amount of points as well, 31. Jeez, so yeah, this line, they're producing. Love to see that. Another kind of decent offer. Canucks want to give us Gagne for 2/3, but I'm going to say no. I feel like we don't need him, really. Our center depth's pretty solid. Calgary's still trying to get Spurgeon, but like if we're in a playoff spot, I feel like we might as well go for it. It's kind of like I didn't expect to be in the position Vegas was. As I say that, we actually get 3 straight losses there with 1 goal in 3 games, but it looks like we might be. Like, we didn't plan to be good, but we're actually pretty good. Wow, that's an enticing offer from the Rangers. Oh my, Nemesnikov, a 3rd and a 4th for Ekholm and a 4th. So we're getting a 3rd-round pick and Nemesnikov, who's a solid young forward. That's something we don't have a lot of. Actually, after all those trades, we probably have more of that than defensemen, but I'm really surprised they're making us this offer. 26 years old, 83 overall, so he still has like this year to grow. I mean, immediately he goes on our first line. Alright guys, so I'm looking at our decor right now. I noticed that Martinez actually has top 6 potential now, just like Braun. Probably because he's turned 31, I believe before he was 30. Making $4 million for the next 2 years. Ekholm's 3.75 for the next 3. So if we do Martinez instead of Ekholm, pick up Nemestikov. We just probably move up Juice to the second pair. Then we'll have Alexiak and Kulikov on the bottom pair. I feel like that's not too bad. And then we have Nemestikov as like a building piece for the future, like a solid young forward. I don't know if they still do this. If they do, I think it's a solid trade, especially with Martinez decreased potential. Let's see what they say. Call up Kulikov, so I think that's a very good trade for us. So after that trade, guys, we actually lost another game to Tampa Bay. As you can see, we've lost 4 straight games. I'm hoping, though, it'll like turn around here. The guy we picked 4th overall is actually like an 82 now, so he's gone up in overall. I haven't played on the first line with Brassard and Nemestikov, so new first line. Second line has both Burakovsky and Fiala, so the forward group's a lot better. Okay, finally, like we lost, what was that, 5 straight there. Needed to break that. So deadline's about 2 weeks away now. A 1st-round pick in 2020 and a 4th for Ekholm and a 3rd. Man, we could do that, but like, then we actually have no chance this year. I feel like at this point we can't make ourselves bad enough to have any good chance of getting the 1st overall pick. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, I don't know how good Nashville's pick is, but like it's probably just as good odds. We already own it. Yanni Gord unsigned for Sparks, a 3rd and a 4th. I feel like Gord's just going to be UFA because they never qualified him, which means, yeah, he'll be free to have, and you can't sign him during the season, so this trade makes no sense for us. Henrique, a 6th and a 7th for Spurgeon. I mean, honestly, I might have done this during the summer when we needed forwards, but now we probably need D-men. More so as we traded away so many, but wasn't getting any offers. I actually had to go out and make them all. And right here, Boston's offering us a 3rd round pick for Sparks and a 5th, but Sparks has starter potential, so I'm going to say no. Doesn't really make sense just to move up 2 rounds. So as you can see here, we're 34, 22, and 6 at the deadline. AHL team, I thought honestly they'd be doing better, but that's okay. As long as they're growing, players are playing well. No longer first in the division, but still are in a playoff spot, 74 points. Erik Karlsson there leading in scoring with 56. I'm going to take a quick look here just to see how everyone else is doing. As you can see, right below him is Heinen at 50 points. That's crazy. Second line center. He's got 20 more points than Brassard, who's playing first line. Fast there, 47. He's just having a great year. Hasn't changed in overall, though. Nemestikov, I still think was a really good pickup. Burakovsky. Milroy, 38 points his rookie year. 82 overall now. Maybe an outside shot, sorry, at the Calder. That'd be pretty sick to see. I also want to check how the goalies were doing. Grubauer is actually getting the lion's share of the starts. 50 games played, opposed to Korpisalo only at 15. Stats, Grubauer is a little bit better, but the goals against are the exact same. So I feel like I'm not going to be too active at the deadline, guys. I did most of our trades in the summer before the start of the season, and my plan was to sell a bunch of assets at the deadline, but the fact that we might make the playoffs, and we really can't tank hard enough to get a high pick, we should just basically stay the course and see what happens this year. We do have an extra forward, though, so going to trade Ease as he's our oldest, not our worst, but oldest, to Boston for a 3rd round pick. He is only have a 1 year left too, so I'm not going to re-sign him. If it's a free draft pick, it's a free draft pick. And Boston rejects this. You'd have to put some dude on waivers. I feel like just gave them a pretty decent offer there, but that's fair. Chicago, maybe they'll do a 3rd round pick. They don't even have a 3rd round pick. I mean, we have a lot of picks this year. No reason we can't stock up next year. We'll see if they do Vancouver's 3rd. And they reject it. I think that Vancouver 3rd actually had a lot of value because Vancouver's not too good. We're going to try Washington's 3rd and Vancouver's 4th here. Looks like the value's about even, plus they're getting him at 50%. Trade rejected. Okay, just give us Washington's 3rd round pick. There we go. So that just means Yaskin's going to move into Eve's spot. I was looking through teams' trading blocks, guys. I noticed that Philly had Morgan Frost on the block, as well as Joel Farabee. Obviously, they're going for it this year. Farabee's the same age and 4 overall higher, but he's a winger, and I feel like we definitely need centers more than wingers. Like, our winger depth's pretty stacked right now. Nemestikov, Fiala, Burakovsky, our 4th overall pick. So Farabee here, pretty good though. 54 points in 63 games right now in the AHL. Frost, though, is tearing up the junior league. 35 goals, 29 assists in 37 games. So I feel like Frost is still a good pickup. And, I mean, his value's not too high. So I'm offering them Gauntz, who's in the AHL, Kulikov, Dodson will call up and replace, which actually isn't too bad. He's 1 overall below, but he'd actually be on the right-hand side where Kulikov's playing, and Kulikov's left-handed. Then 3 third-round picks. We have 4, actually, in the next 2 years. So it's Pittsburgh's this year, I'm keeping in mind, and then Rangers and ours in 2020. Values about equal, so if they say yes, I feel like more or less stealing Morgan Frost here, but that's their problem. I mean, 40, 12, and 10, they're doing something right. So we'll see what they say here to the offer. We're calling up Dodson, so there we go. I think that's a steal for Morgan Frost, and it doesn't affect our team making the playoffs really this year. And one last trade I'm trying to make here, guys, is a small one. Trade Martinook to the Ducks for a 4th round pick. Right now he's in the AHL, 26 years old, so it's like last year to grow. Trying to get a 4th back, and I mean, they're not that good, so it could be an early 4th. And they reject it, so I mean, that's okay. I saw they also had Winnipeg's 4th, so I mean, we could do that. They actually don't have any draft picks this year, though. No 5th, 6th, or 7th, so maybe that's another reason why they're concerned about trading the pick. They do trade Winnipeg's 4th, though, so obviously we'll do that. Another thing I wanted to show you guys, I thought kind of interesting. Again, Clayton Keller's on the trade block. I'm not going to be trading from this year, though, as our only pieces that would qualify for Keller are Erik Karlsson and Milroy. And speaking of Milroy, we picked him 4th overall in, like, the 2018 do-over draft. This Kolosov guy here, he went 5th overall to Arizona. As you can see, he's 84 overall already. Drafted, as you right there, 5th overall. 7 goals, 15 assists, 84 overall. I don't get it. I'm pretty sure they were both 81s out of the draft, both wingers. Milroy's an 82, and he's got like more than double the points. 21 goals, 17 assists. So people are always asking how players grow and stuff. I think sometimes it's just completely random. Like, our guy's doing better. That doesn't make sense. But I wanted to share that with you guys. So that's about it for the deadline. I'm going to show you guys the rosters, some of the rest of the season. Hopefully make a late playoff push. And, I mean, if we could win the Stanley Cup our first year while also having all those draft picks and a young team, that'd be pretty amazing. So after the trade deadline, guys, here look at the team. Nemestikov, Brassard, and Milroy is the first line. Burakovsky, Heinen, and Fiala is the second. So pretty good top 6. We then have Fast, Pajot, and Brown on the 3rd, with Ritchie, Kopp, and Yaskin on the 4th. And I mean, Fast on the 3rd line, still putting up pretty good points. 47 points so far this year. Defense, Ekholm, Carlson, so kept together the top pair. Spurgeon and Juice on the second, with Alexiak and Dotchin on the third. And then, of course, goalies have not changed. So hopefully his team's still good enough to make the playoffs. Would kind of suck if we don't, but even if we don't, at least that does give us a shot at the lottery. So either way, I'm honestly happy. It's the first year of a 3-year rebuild. Really, we're in a really good spot, I think, right now with how the team's looking. So I'll send it in the season, see what's happening, and go from there. So we're at the end of the season here, guys. Finished a record of 45, 30, and 7. So not too bad. A 97-point season in our first year of existence. AHL team had a negative record, but that's okay. Obviously, they weren't really looking that good throughout the year. We actually won the division with 97 points. Wow, I thought 97 honestly would have put us third place, maybe even a wild card. We've had 101 points and been a wild card before, so that's crazy. Their Erik Karlsson leading scorer, 71 points. So he's back to being normal Erik Karlsson. Or I guess even in his down year, he still had like 60-something. Heinen, he better get an upgrade. 60-point year. Second line center for us. 25 goals, 35 assists. Has not gained overall yet, but hopefully this summer. So loving that trade. Fast had 57. I mean, he's looking really good. Burakovsky put up 50. Same with Mestikov. Milroy, 46. Still an 82. That's okay. Fiala, I really hate you don't see the overall and you have to click it, whatever. So overall, like, we're getting scoring from everyone. Connor Brown there, Spurgeon at 25. Very happy so far to see how the team's done. Goalies, pretty good to me. 6 shutouts for Grubauer. .925 save percentage is really good as well. Same with the goals against. I'll take a quick look too and see who is leading scorer in the entire league. I'm going to guess right now Patrick Kane. And Tarasenko. Kane was second, though, a point behind. He always has a really good first year. Tarasenko also does really good in the sim. Sagan there. Bergeron, 86. Jeez. Marchand right up there, too. Scheifele, Wheeler, Line, Ben. So that Winnipeg line just absolutely went off. That's pretty crazy. I'll see. I'm guessing Detroit's probably last in the league, considering the fact they had 0 wins in mid-November. Okay, for a second I thought that was the entire league. But no, we only won the division. Dallas there won the league, 109 points. We actually finished 7th. So the Pacific Division didn't do too great this year. Our national draft pick is not lottery pick. That's okay. Still too late first. Like, potentially get Ryan Suzuki with one. Potentially get Nolan Foe with the other. Like, we can definitely still make something happen, especially if Nashville has an early playoff exit. Good chance we do as well. Minnesota gets 14th. Doesn't make the playoffs, so that sucks. Washington 18th makes it in. Let's see here. Oh, wow. Detroit didn't get a win until November. They still did better than Vancouver and the New York Islanders. Honestly, this doesn't look too bad in terms of real life. I feel all 4 of these teams. Arizona's going to do better than this, but for sure the bottom 3 teams are good. I think Colorado will make the playoffs or be right there. Arizona, I think, will be like Carolina this year, kind of fighting, but that's pretty crazy. Detroit didn't finish last. I guess they only beat out Vancouver and the Islanders by a point, so the Islanders and the Canucks tanked harder, I guess. Gonna sim, I guess, to the playoffs now. See, we're playing in the first round. So yeah, it's gonna be St. Louis. Should be a good first round. So here you go, guys. First ever playoff game for the Seattle Kraken. I'm gonna show you guys St. Louis' team after a couple games, as they actually have no ratings right now, so I have to play them a couple times to get those. First period here, no score. Second period, Karlsson, Yaskin, Burakovsky all get goals. That's awesome. And then Brown there with another one. So big 4-0 win. Good start here at home. I mean, Grubauer picking up the shutout as well. I still can't believe. Like, I was saying at the beginning, I thought this team was better than a rebuilder, which is what their team status was. I didn't think they'd be this good, though. So, game number 2 here. I also realized that Yaskin scored on his own team. That's old team. Sorry, that's pretty cool. First period, Tarasenko, Shen, caught for us. Second period, Jordan Wheeler gets one, and so does Fabry. 4-1. And Connor Brown gets another in the third period. Unfortunately, not enough. Also, looked like Perronin and Tarasenko got a couple in the third period there. So, won the first game. 6-2 loss there, though, in the second. So, hopefully, you can see the ratings now. I'll show you guys this before we start the third game. Alright, guys, so let's look at the St. Louis Blues lineup. I just remembered, too, we don't have ratings hidden with Fog of War, so we should be able to see these. It must be, like, a new feature where you can't during the playoffs. I'm not sure. If anyone else knows, definitely tell me. Anyways, though, Schwartz, Shen, Tarasenko is the first line. We can at least look at the names. Perron, Riley, and Steen on the second. Fabry, Bozak, Tanev on the third, with Wheel, Barbashev, and Bork on the fourth. Defense there is pretty solid. Parayko, Pietrangelo, Edmondson, Bomeister, Dunn, and Schmaltz. Like, they always have a very solid decor. Of course, Jake Allen and Net. So even though we can't see the player ratings, we actually can see their team ratings still, which is kind of interesting. So as you can see here, they have 2 better offense, 1 better defense, and 2 better goaltending. Also, I know some people didn't like these jerseys, by the way. I realized after, too, a big reason why they had the stripe theme was to kind of go with the pirate theme. If you guys have ever seen kind of like the old school pirates, they're always wearing like the striped t-shirts and like the striped bandanas. So I think that's the reason why. I know it's something different. I wanted to try something different. A lot of you did not like them, but that's okay. So game 3, first period. Here we go. Nothing in the first period again. Yaskin opens up the scoring, old team. And that's it. Grubauer's second shutout of the playoffs. It's awesome. So take a 2-1 series lead there. Hopefully can get this next win in St. Louis, 3-1. Really just kind of put our grasp on the series. If we actually win our first playoff series, that'd be pretty insane. I mean, Vegas swept their first ever playoff series, I'm pretty sure, which is even crazier, but we'll take this. So nothing in the first period again. They get 2 in the second, both Tarasenko. And Connor Brown is he always scores in the third period. That's 3 of 4 games. Unfortunately, we still dropped that one 2-1. So this is a close series so far, 2-2. Hopefully we can get that big game 5. Here we go, guys. First period, game 5. Shen and Steen for them, Nemestikov for us. Bork and Steen for them. We need a big third period. And Heinen gets one, also Tanev gets one, so 5-2 loss, not good. First time we're no longer leading the series, but 2 games left. I mean, you can not too difficult to win back-to-back games. One's away, one's home. I feel like we can pull it off. Obviously, you have to hope for the best here at the playoff sim. We didn't get swept, though, like our first sim with Montreal, so that's good. Here we go. Game 6. Fiala, Pajot, Bozak for them, so 2-1 lead. No way. Perron and Tarasenko, so we're down by 1 going into the third. And there we go. Carlson gets 2. Carlson's not going out like that. Tanev gets 1, though, for them, so we're going to OT. Yeah, O'Reilly, are you kidding me? Gets the OT and series winner. So, I mean, it's not the end of the world. Like, we made the playoffs our first year. I thought we were going to be terrible. Obviously, after all those trades, I thought we actually were a pretty good team. Really kind of happy with how the trades went. And the draft results just came in, guys. As you can see, Florida picking first overall. So they're going to get Jack Hughes, Montreal second, and then the Rangers Islanders are actually 3rd and 4th. Ottawa fans, though, you can be happy. Colorado's actually picking 12th with your picks. That's not too bad. And right here's our final look at the draft class before we get to the draft. Obviously, Jack Hughes should be number 1, and he is. Apparently, I didn't scout the U.S., though. Maybe I completely forgot. Salo here, like I said, never heard of before. Cousins, Sokolov, Alexei, Vlander, Krebs. So I feel like there's a bunch of creative players added to this draft because Byram's pretty low. Same with Kako, Dodge. Like, usually those guys are on the first page. So there's, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 dudes that are, like, created. But I guess that's good for us because we have 2 mid to late firsts, which obviously will hopefully push some guys down. Krebs is considered a gem. I already know what his value is, though, or how good he is. But I guess maybe the CS rankings got it wrong. They have him at 7. So maybe he's actually better than a few of these guys. Unfortunately, we only have a pick there to take him unless we could somehow trade up. Speaking of which, so I'm going to see if there's any other gems or busts. So Krebs are only gem. I didn't know it actually sorts all the top. And then a couple guys there are busts. Also right here you can see Chris Kunitz just retired, is becoming a scout. Same with the guys that retired in our Montreal video. So Hossa, Zetterberg, Chara were like the only kind of names that mattered. And right there you can see the Toronto Maple Leafs are Stanley Cup champions. So EA really likes them in this sim. Even without Shea Weber, they still get it done. Carlson also led our team in scoring in the playoffs, 6.6 games. Definitely not bad at all. So I guess we'll take a quick look at the playoff tree, see how Toronto got there. 7-game series with Tampa. See if I feel like Toronto-Tampa is going to be the best series this year in the East when they eventually meet. Sweeps Columbus and then beats Pittsburgh in 6. And they actually beat the Vegas Golden Knights in 5 games. Imagine that. I'd feel so bad for Vegas fans. Obviously, they just got an NHL franchise. You can't feel too bad, but back-to-back Stanley Cup final losses. Fast there, 5 assists. Brown, 4 points. I mean, 3 of the first 4 games, he had third-period goals. Like, that's pretty clutch. The rest of the guys there, 2 and 3 points. Obviously, going to take a look at the awards now. I wonder if maybe Carlson outside shot the Norris. Dallas got the Presidents. So we know all the team awards, player awards. Tarasenko, Art Ross. Stagan, though, got the Hart. Usually it's Art Ross gives you the Hart. Doughty, though, got the James Norris. Of course, Carlson can't win it when he's on our team. Kane, Lady Bing. Calder there went to Mathers. I don't know who that is. I think he was one of the creative players in that like 2018 redo draft we did. I'm like positive. Anderson, Conn Smythe, Murray, Vesna, Andy William M. Jennings. Bill Masterton there went to Jarmelson. Getzlov got the Selke. Ted Lindsay, Tyler Sagan. And then Tarasenko also got the Maurice Richard. We'll check AHL awards. I know we didn't win any. Bridgeport Sound Tigers, though, with the Calder Cup. Rest of the awards don't really matter. Looks like Bridgeport had a pretty good year, though. They won like 5 of the team awards. Player awards, Wallstrom, most points. Okay, so that's a big reason why. MVP, most goals. Okay, Wallstrom was just going off for them. And he got the most outstanding rookie. I don't know if I've ever seen an AHL player get the first 4 awards. I mean, I gave him like sick hands because he had sick hands as a kid, still does. A good shot too. I think he's got like 88 deking, but I thought there'd be like higher rated and better players in the AHL. I guess not. And look at that. Next year we have Kale McCarr with best defenseman. Gilly's there with the best goalie. Sorokin got the Calder Cup MVP. That's kind of cool. Wallstrom also got sportsmanship. McBain there with the community thing. I still want to know how they choose that. And then Shashyorkin actually with the lowest goals against. So 2 of the 3 Russian-created goalies got AHL awards. Pretty sure Samsonov was actually Washington's backup, but that's pretty cool to see along with McCarr and Wallstrom. Just all the creative players tearing up the AHL. And that's going to be it, guys, for this episode. Every single one's going to end with the Stanley Cup, so final episode will be like the 2028 Stanley Cup. Next one will start with the draft and free agency. Obviously, I really like where this team's going, so very excited to see kind of what we can do over the summer and just kind of keep this team going, especially too who we can get the draft. I feel like with 2 first-round picks, we could definitely have some fun. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this first episode. If you did, leave the thumbs up. Also, if you aren't subscribed yet, please do that. Besides that, thank you guys for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.